Are you a guy that's been thinking about using TRT, but you're not really sure if it's something that would be right for you? Do you have a lack of energy or stubborn belly fat that seems to be very difficult to get rid of? Well, let me tell you, TRT might be the right thing for you. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how TRT has affected my body, my mind, my energy, everything for the past 6 months. This is the third part of a 4-part series where I go through all the stages that I've been through with TRT, all the way from the first 30 days, 90 days, 6 months, and then 1 year later. This is a first-hand account basically explaining everything and breaking it down for you to see if TRT is something that you want to incorporate in your life. The first thing I want to mention is that this video is a bit different than my previous videos. There were some people in the comments from my last video that were asking some questions about specific topics when it came to TRT, and I'm here to address those additionally on top of the other topics that we're going to discuss. Before we jump into all the topics, let me quickly explain about how and why I got onto it. I went to my male clinic where they basically took a blood test and my testosterone levels were quite low. It was at 314. Now that's like at the borderline crossing to be very low. It's on the low end of the spectrum. Before TRT, I had really low energy. I did work out, but I wasn't gaining any muscle. My stubborn belly fat just wanted to stay. There was a point in time that I was just laying on the couch and I said, damn, I really feel like shit. And I thought, I've done quite a bit of research of TRT. I was a bit apprehensive, so I bit the bullet and said, let's give it a try. I'm going to be hitting upon certain topics. The first topic is going to be the dosage, the amount I take. The second topic is going to be price. How much do I pay here in America? The third topic is going to be like my other videos with energy, where I explain how my energy levels have changed throughout this course. Fourth topic is going to be body composition, my fat and muscle ratio. Fifth topic is going to be libido. Can I get it up? And then the sixth topic are the consequences of TRT. Is it really worth it? So in the very beginning, I was taking 200 milligrams a week, and I was injecting that intramuscular straight into my leg or my buttocks. So that's where I ended up in my last video, where I was taking 200 milligrams a week all the way up until that 90-day period. Then at month 4, I took a blood test. So as you already know, I was taking 200 milligrams a week. What happens when you take a certain amount is it'll spike your T levels. And then you have to take the next blood test to see how your red blood cells are reacting to it. For me, my T levels pretty much shot through the roof to over 1300, and that is pretty high. For a guy at my age, at 40, your T levels are not supposed to really go past 800 plus. I would say crossing 900, like that's the technical limit that you want to be at. So here I was at 1300 at month 4. So from 200 milligrams, now my doctor has scaled me down to 100 milligrams a week. And this is in hopes to drop my T levels to a more normal and stabilized level. As for my red blood cell count, it actually spiked past what it should be. Now I am a guy who actually has high blood pressure naturally, genetically, and I really don't want to mess with my long-term internal heart health. So I decided with the doctor to definitely scale it back down to 100 milligrams a week. At first I didn't really want to because the gains that I've been getting have been amazing with TRT at 200 milligrams a week. But for longevity purposes and to see what happens, I said, yes, let's definitely do 100 milligrams a week. So currently from month 4 till now month 6, I am at 100 milligrams a week, and I believe in a few more months I will take another blood test to see where my T levels are and where my red blood cell count is. And when we get to the section for consequences of TRT, I will explain a little bit more about what happens when your red blood cell count shoots through the roof. So let's move on to section 2, which is the price that I pay for TRT. Here in America, I do have health insurance. I'm covered. And at the male clinic that I go to, they charge $80 a month, regardless of what goes on. Like, that is their sort of subscription price that people like me have to pay. So every month, it's $80. And then I need to go to the pharmacy and pick up my testosterone, which at the time before was 200 milligrams per week. So for a month's supply, it cost, after insurance covered, it cost me $8 to $9 US. So in total, at 200 milligrams per week, I was paying $89 a month. Now, since I do 100 milligrams a week, that cuts everything in half. So that 80 becomes 40, and the $9 becomes $4.50. So now I'm paying about $45 a month for my testosterone, which is a bargain for me for the positive effects that you actually get from it. Hell yeah, it's worth $45 a month. Now, on to section number 3, which is energy and mood. Let me tell you, I've been tooting this horn on all my videos, and it has not changed, and if anything, it's even better. My energy levels before TRT were really low. I just felt like crap. I didn't want to do anything. I wanted to lay on the couch. I felt lethargic. I felt lazy. Now, that is just the truth. That is how I felt. Mind you, I'm 40 years old. I was at T level of 318, and I felt like shit. Now, fast forward 6 months later, I have sustained energy throughout the day. The only times that I get tired or fatigued is when I've been to the gym and had a heavy workout. Other than that, my energy levels are sustained throughout the day. I love waking up feeling great and ready to go. Yeah, nothing has changed. If anything, it's stabilized and improved compared to the very beginning. I feel great. The energy levels and the mood are great. On that front, if you have low energy, definitely give it a try. Consult your doctor first though. Section number 4 is body composition. Here is what I looked like at the very beginning before taking TRT. My body fat was high, my muscle mass was very low. I was trying to work out, but I was not making the gains like I used to. And again, I felt like crap. So I was trying to have a positive lifestyle, and with an okay diet, it just wasn't working. So now, as you can see here, this is what I look like now, 6 months later. I will say this is quite a big difference for me, at least, than from the very beginning, from 6 months before. And even from the 90-day mark, it's even better. My muscles have gotten more dense, much stronger. My fat has definitely become a lot less. From month 3 to month 6, I was still a little concerned in the beginning. Around, let's say, month 4 and even into month 5, my body fat just was not really changing all that much. Then, all of a sudden, boom, okay, it starts burning. I'm getting close to possibly seeing my abs, which is awesome. I never ever thought that I might even get to this stage with TRT. So here I am. I'm much stronger, I'm much faster, I'm much slimmer, and in the very beginning I weighed 184 pounds, and my current weight is 197 pounds. So I definitely gained weight, and I'm pretty sure it's mainly muscle mass because, as you can see, my fat content has gone down and muscles have gone up. My lifts have gone through the roof. Just to give you an example, and I'm not saying that I am a strong dude, but compared to where I was, I am way, way stronger. My pull-ups in the beginning were 8 pull-ups. That's what I could do before TRT, and now I can do 27 pull-ups. My bench press, which is sort of my weakest point, was in the beginning was about at 115 I was repping, and now I am repping at 215. That's without a spot. Squats, I was also at about 115 or 120 pounds repping, and now I'm repping up to 265 pounds. That is a huge gain in 6 months, and I've never done that in my life. I've repped, when I could rep 225 pounds in the past, I was considered strong for myself. Now I can rep 265, which is like, holy crap, I've never imagined that. And every single week, all my lifts, my weight, everything is going up. I feel the increase. Even at a dosage from 200 milligrams a week, scaled down to 100 milligrams a week, I am still making those gains. I don't eat a terrible amount of food. I eat maybe 2 big meals a day, breakfast and dinner, and in between I'll have a tiny bit of snacking or a protein bar or something. But for the most part, I do not overeat, And I do eat sort of whatever I want, but I don't really normally eat junk food. I just eat normal meals, and then sometimes a little bit of snacking here and there. My gains have been going up every single week. My strength is going up, my mood feels great, and it's awesome. It's awesome. My fat is shrinking. I would still love it to shrink faster. Back in the day in my 20s, I could shrink the fat really fast, but now it's taking a bit longer. But it's still shrinking, and I'm excited to see what it's going to look like in the next 6 months. So at the 1 year mark, as long as I stay consistent, well, I'm excited for the results of that. Okay, let's go on to section number 5, which is libido. Can you get it up? Yes, you can, and it is better when you're on TRT. I would say much better. It's easier. I mean, you wake up with morning wood a lot more, and it's fantastic. There's nothing wrong down there. I like it. It's like I'm young again, so it works for your libido. Let's just keep it at that. Let's just move on to the next topic, which is number 6, the consequences of TRT. So the first part about consequences I have is about hair loss. In my personal experience, for 6 months of being on TRT, I have really no signs of hair loss. As you can see, you can compare this with my 3-month video, but so far, knock on wood, lucky no hair loss. Next part is the red blood cell count. So now I want to go a little more in depth. Basically, what does happen is it thickens your blood when you take testosterone. What happens is you'll be more at risk of blood clots, strokes, and heart attacks. So as I mentioned earlier on in the video, my red blood cell count is way over what it's supposed to be, and that scares me. So I definitely scaled it down from the 200 milligram dose to a 100 milligram dose, and hopefully that will bring it down so later on in life I won't have any of these complications. So, and testosterone does create that problem, so you'll want to make sure and do it right with blood tests to make sure you're okay. The next one is prostate enlargement. I personally have not gotten my prostate checked. I won't be doing that for a little while unless I see some signs of it. But as far as I'm concerned, testosterone enlarges all your organs, including your prostate, but it doesn't just directly give you cancer, it just puts you more at risk when it enlarges all your innards. The next topic is roid rage. I do not feel any different. If anything, my mood is better, so I do not feel angry or like the Hulk. Maybe it's because it's not anabolic steroids, but either way, I feel totally fine. So that's a good thing. Next topic is acne. Yes, this is a big problem. I've got crazy bacne. I've had bacne in high school. I took a drug called Accutane to get rid of it. It got rid of it for the most part, most of my life. And now it's back with a vengeance on testosterone. It's like I'm a freaking teenager again. I don't like it, but I don't have to see my back all the time or at all, so it really doesn't bother me. But if I was in a place where I had my shirt off all the time, then yes, I would be a bit more self-conscious. I do know that there's steroid creams and then washes and things to help alleviate those symptoms, but I haven't partaken in it just because I'm always wearing clothes, so it doesn't really bother me. But acne is a problem. Next topic is smaller testicles. This, I do believe, is true. I have seen a bit of shrinkage. It's not a crazy amount, but there's definitely some shrinkage in the testicles, mind you, and doesn't affect my daily life. It doesn't affect performance. It doesn't affect anything else. It's just a bit smaller. It doesn't bother me. I don't really care. My life goes on as normal. Another one is infertility in men. This would be a big one, and this you'll want to ask your doctor for sure. I personally am not going to be having kids, so it doesn't bother me, but infertility I can see being a huge no-go for some guys out there, and that is something you might want to consult with your doctor, and that I don't even know how you test for that. But it was never an issue or something that I cared about, so it didn't bother me. The last thing is nipple pain. I have no nipple pain whatsoever. The only time I had it was really like the first 30 days, I believe, and it was just minuscule, so everything's good there. There you have it, guys. I've explained everything in depth on TRT, what it's like to be on it for 6 months. That has been my experience and the effects of my body. I hope this helps you make a decision if you're on the fence on whether you want to use it or not. Hopefully this will help you make a decision. Of course, as always, consult your doctor before making any decision. Don't just go off of my video. But I do hope that this can answer some of your questions, because I know that when I was looking into it, I couldn't really find many first-hand experiences. That's sort of why I've been wanting to document this journey. Thanks for tagging along, and if you want to see an 8-month video rather than wait all the way for a year, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, the next video that I will update is 6 months from now, and that'll be 1 full year transformation on TRT. Thanks for joining in, and I'll see you next time.